Welcome back to our channel where we share updates and untold stories about Catherine, Princess of Wales and her royal family. Today we bring you some significant news. Zara Tindall refuses Camilla's demand for curtsy. What's happening inside the monarchy? It has been reported that Princess Anne's daughter has taken a courageous step toward Queen Camilla by refusing to comply with the demand that was made by Queen Camilla at the most recent royal event. This disproves the rumors that have been circulating about the true nature of the connection between Camilla and Zara Tindall, whom Prince William had attempted to invite to be a working royal in his reign. The inquiry examines how a change in the monarchy may have an effect on the abdication of Queen Camilla. From the perspective of an insider leak and an expert, this film will reveal the truth about the situation that the monarchy is now experiencing, as well as the reason why Princess Anne's daughter took this action against Camilla. In a gesture that caused the palace to shake, in the hushed halls of royal etiquette where the unwritten norms of hierarchy and tradition have long regulated conduct, a single act, a refusal to curtsy, has sparked a raging discussion. This is because the tacit rules of protocol have long governed behavior. Zara Tindall, the daughter of Princess Anne and an equestrian Olympian who is now a mother of two, has allegedly failed to make the conventional curtsy in front of Queen Camilla. This has sparked discussion about the potential for family conflicts, generational gaps, in the future of the British monarchy itself. A lightning rod for wider arguments about the usefulness of the monarchy in a contemporary society has been created by this apparently insignificant infraction of decorum. Zara's choice, made at a time when the royal family is struggling to adapt to changing cultural ideals, highlights an important turning point in the institution's history. This in-depth research aims to explore the symbolism underlying the curtsy, the intricate interactions between Zara, her mother, and Queen Camilla, and the insights this episode offers into the delicate balance the monarchy must maintain between tradition and change. One of the symbolic languages of power is the curtsy. The curtsy, which consists of a beautiful bend of the knee or a little bow of the head, may seem to be a charming remnant from bygone ages, but inside the royal family it holds a great deal of importance. Over the course of many centuries, the gesture has been an essential component of royal etiquette, serving as a symbol of respect, reverence, and adherence to the hierarchical structure of the monarchy. Even though it is not legally obligatory, the curtsy is profoundly embedded in royal culture. It is a visual language that maintains the continuity and stability of the monarchy of the United Kingdom. The roots of the curtsy may be traced back to the medieval period when courtiers would display their allegiance by performing elaborate bows and motions. Dr. Sarah Jane Downing, a historian who specializes in royal etiquette, is the one who says this. According to her explanation, the curtsy evolved as a gendered counterpart to the male bow, and by the time the Victorian era rolled around, it had become a formalized ritual. It was not just about respect, it was about reinforcing the divine right of kings and the sacred role that the monarchy plays in British society. The curtsy had developed into a formalized sign of respect for female royals by the time the 19th century rolled around. The reign of Queen Victoria solidified its position as a part of royal etiquette, which included stringent regulations on when, where, and how it should be carried out. Each and every detail was important, notes Downing. Subtext was given about the performer's rank and intentions via a variety of means, including the depth of the bow, the angle of the head, and even the placement of the hands. It is a common practice to use the curtsy in both public and private contexts today, although its meaning has evolved. An expert on royal affairs named Emily Fisher makes the observation that in the 21st century, the curtsy is less about divine right and more about the cohesiveness of the family. It's a tacit recognition of the history and responsibility that we all share. A good example of this would be how younger royals like Princess Eugenie show respect to elder members of the family by curtsying, whereas Kate Middleton is the one who does the same thing to Queen Camilla, while they are attending formal occasions. Nevertheless, the symbolic significance of the gesture is diminishing. The curtsy is a relic of a time when hierarchy was unquestioned, says constitutional monarchy scholar Lord Peter Hennessy. The curtsy did not exist in previous times. In this age of individuality and equality, the importance of this idea is increasingly doubted. This is Zara Tindall, the contemporary royal rebel. Zara Tindall, who is 44 years old, stands out among her co-royal peers. Zara's mother, Princess Anne, chose to hide her children intentionally from the limelight, in contrast to her cousins, Prince William and Harry, who were brought up in the public glare. Anne placed a high priority on her children's privacy and liberty by deciding not to bestow royal titles upon them. This choice has had a significant impact on Zara's identity as a woman who successfully navigates both the royal and professional worlds. The accomplishments that Zara has made outside of the palace are what characterize her life. She has based her career on tenacity and discipline, which are characteristics that appeal to current audiences. She has won 3 Olympic medals in the sport of equestrian dressage since she began her career. A further demonstration of her ordinary way of life is the fact that she is married to Mike Tindall, a former rugby player, and that she is a mother to 2 children. On the contrary to the majority of royals, she stays away from the extravagant gatherings and the scrutiny of the media that are a part of her relatives' lives. Instead, she prioritizes her family and her professional endeavors. There is a lack of clarity on the specifics of the claimed event, which took place at a private family gathering. It has been reported by some with knowledge of the royal family that Zara did not curtsy to Camilla on many occasions, instead choosing to shake hands or nod. This behavior has been seen as both a personal idiosyncrasy and an intentional challenge to tradition, although the inner circle of the monarchy is famously secretive. A royal biographer by the name of Dr. Sophie Charlotte contends that Zara's resistance is reflective of the mindset of her generation. Her choice prioritizes authenticity over performance. According to her perspective, respect is not about conformity, but rather about actions like her charitable work or her Olympic achievements. The decision that Zara has made is very personal, but it is also a reflection of bigger cultural developments, according to Sir John Major, who served as Prime Minister in the past. Younger royals view traditional values as a tool rather than a mandate. The influence of Princess Anne on Zara's upbringing has been quite significant. Richard Fitzwilliams, a royal insider, notes that Anne wanted her children to have the opportunity to experience life without the weight of etiquette. According to Zara, her unwillingness to curtsy is not an act of defiance. Rather, it is the inevitable consequence of a mother who prioritized independence above tradition. An attempt to reconcile the Anne-Camilla relationship after decades. The division that has existed between Princess Anne and Queen Camilla for a very long time lies at the heart of the dispute. The strained relationship between Zara and Camilla, stemming from personal past and political disagreements, provides crucial background to her actions. During the 1970s, Anne and Camilla were both romantically attached to Mark Shan, a British nobleman and a close friend of Charles. This is when the rumors of strife between Anne and Camilla began to become prevalent. According to reports, Shan, who had previously served as a royal equerry, had romantic ties with both of the ladies. However, Camilla's connection to him was more long-lasting. Despite the fact that these connections were secret, they played a significant role in establishing mutual mistrust. Hugo Vickers, a biographer, makes the observation that the Shand affair was a powder keg. This hatred against Camilla, whom Anne saw as a competitor, never went away. Given that the affair is a generational wound, it is not a surprise that Zara's rebellion has surfaced at this time. Dr. Mark Littleton, a historian, also notes that there are numerous examples of this type of personal struggle throughout the monarchy's history. Zara's decision to take this situation public is what makes it distinct. Charles's marriage to Camilla in 2005 was the moment when the tension reached its peak. A civil register office rather than a big church served as the location for the ceremony, which was a low-key event to minimize any potential controversy. Princess Anne was present despite rumors of her distant demeanor. For example, according to Sir Robert Fellows, a former royal advisor, Anne's presence at the wedding was a compromise. She did not support the union, but she acknowledged the importance of the family coming together as a unit. Her disapproval of the actions was evident. Anne has always been fiercely loyal to Diana's memory, Princess Michael of Kent said in a rare interview when asked about her relationship with Diana. Camilla found the role of queen consort challenging to manage. Zara has constantly associated herself with her mother's views, which is not surprising given that she was brought up in an atmosphere where Camilla's position was questioned. It is possible that Zara's unwillingness to curtsy is a reflection of a family position, although Anne has never publicly chastised Camilla. An observer of royal affairs named Emily Fisher makes the following observation. Zara's actions are a mirror of Anne's unspoken disdain. It's not about Camilla on a personal level. It's about a long-standing tradition of mistrust. When discussing the Charles factor, it is important to note that Uncle Charles and Godfather Charles refer to the same person, King Charles. Zara's relationship with King Charles, her godfather, further complicates the narrative by adding another layer of multifacetedness. She has found that the friendship between them, which has been described as unusually close, has had a soothing impact on her life. One school of thought contends that Zara's refusal to curtsy to Camilla will be considered an implicit declaration of her allegiance to Charles. There is a school of thought that has emerged. By avoiding the gesture, it is probable that she is symbolically aligning herself with the lineage of her godfather, rather than Camilla's status as queen consort. This is because she is avoiding the gesture. This is not about Camilla. It is about Charles. Lord Hennessy emphasizes in his argument on the circumstance. There is a potential that Zara's sudden rejection is a passive-aggressive statement being made regarding his marriage, which many members of the family continue to believe to be difficult. This situation may indeed be true. Charles's own struggles with tradition, such as his adherence to protocol despite his marriage to Camilla, highlight the monarchy's internal contradictions, according to Sir John Major, who continues to speak about Charles's own struggles with tradition. It is a rejection of the system that Zara has shown via her disobedience. Charles, who is now in his 60s, has been less interested in public activities. Nonetheless, his influence on Zara continues to be substantial. This is despite the fact that Charles has become less involved. In his observation, Dr. Littleton made the comment that Charles represents the duality that is the monarchy. Despite his conservative nature, modern forces surround him. As a result of Zara's actions, he is compelled to confront the dilemma of whether he should continue to uphold the established standards or if he should let them gradually disappear. A nation that is divided as a result of the public's reaction. A broader range of socioeconomic trends may be seen reflected in the fact that public opinion has grown more split as a consequence of the curtsy debate. A significant number of older adults in the United Kingdom consider the curtsy to be an inescapable display of respect from their perspective. According to Sir Andrew Motion, who is the poet laureate, the curtsy is not only a gesture, rather it is a covenant. This is what Sir Andrew Motion said. Given the circumstances, giving up on it would be tantamount to putting the monarchy's dignity in danger. 62% of those over the age of 65 believe that doing away with the curtsy would be damaging to the reputation of the monarchy. However, just 38% of persons between the ages of 18 and 24 believe the same thing may happen. The daring of Zara, on the other hand, is lauded by newer generations of people. As a result of the outpouring of adoration that occurred across a variety of social media platforms, hashtags such as Rearn or Free the Curtsy and Our Nkasha Modern Monarchy became more prominent. Over 80% of the tweets that tag Zara Tindall expressed support for her choice, with many of them praising her courage. This was the case for the majority of the tweets. This is the reason that Dr. Charlotte has supplied, which is that Zara's defiance resonates because it is relatable. Young people look up to her as a peer who is battling against the norms that have grown out of date. A more profound generational struggle exists inside the royal family, and this disparity is a reflection of that conflict. In contrast to Prince William and Kate Middleton, who are renowned for their rigorous commitment to etiquette, their younger cousins, such as Princess Eugenie and Jack Brooksbank, have adopted a more laid-back public approach. This attitude is in contrast to the fact that they are recognized for their strict respect for tradition. A remark made by Emily Fisher is that Zara's actions increase the level of tension in the situation. In spite of the fact that she is not a member of the senior line, her rejection suggests that there is a growing segment within the family that is advocating for adjustments to be made, the transformation of monarchies and its repercussions on the world. Beyond the boundaries of Britain, the tragic events involving Zara and Camilla have profound implications. Similar demands to modernize without compromising their intrinsic qualities confront monarchies from Scandinavia to Japan. The goal of these forces is to modernize monarchies. It is possible to find examples of adaptation in the Dutch royal family's trend toward openness and in the Swedish monarchy's emphasis on accessibility. Both of these examples are examples of adaptation. Both the resignation of King Willem-Alexander in 2013 and the casual public image of his wife Maxima have contributed to the rebirth of the Dutch monarchy. Maxima has been active in the public eye since 2013. In addition, the dual role that Crown Princess Victoria of Sweden plays as both an ambassador and a royal has contributed to the achievement of a balance between traditional and modern ideals. Using the findings of her study on European monarchy, Dr. Karen Eichmann presents the following argument: British royals could learn from their Nordic counterparts. The ability to be flexible does not suggest that one is insignificant. Rather, it places an emphasis on adaptability. Critics have cautioned that sticking to conventions, such as the curtsy, carries the risk of alienating younger viewers. There have been suggestions to this effect. According to Lord Hennessy, the challenge that the British monarchy must confront is deciding which traditions belong to the sacred category and which ones may be permitted to flourish. This is a demonstration of the curtsy that is being given. How should we proceed? Should we continue to follow traditions or should we make changes? As a result of the controversy surrounding the curtsy, the monarchy is forced to confront existential issues such as the question of whether or not it is possible for it to preserve its mystique while simultaneously embracing modernity. What is the maximum amount of change that can be allowed before it starts to threaten the very foundations of the organization? A source close to the royal family called Fitzwilliams has said that the palace could want to downplay the significance of the event to avoid giving it air. Additionally, a moderate reform could potentially reframe the curtsy as optional in informal settings, thereby helping to find a balance between respect and flexibility. A phased approach curtsying at state events, but not private gatherings, could bridge the gap. Dr. Downing makes the suggestion: we could implement these measures in stages. A comprehensive overhaul may result in the entire removal of the curtsy and its replacement with gestures that are more egalitarian. This would be the consequence of the complete overhaul. In contrast, Emily Fisher argues that the monarchy needs to investigate what gestures do resonate with modern audiences to better understand their audience. Is it possible that a simple handshake would suffice? It is likely that Zara's kids Mia and Lena Tindall would inherit a monarchy that is very different from the one they now have. If the institution is able to adjust to new circumstances, their generation has the capacity to redefine respect without compromising the heritage that has been established. Sir Robert Fellows came to the opinion that the future of the monarchy lies in its ability to evolve. This is the conclusion that he reached. Zara's resistance is a wake-up call and a symbol of inevitable change. As a brief summary, the monarchy is now at a pivotal juncture. The curtsy problem indicates the identity crisis that the monarchy is experiencing. It is more than just a headline for a gossip column and is a reason for the monarchy's current dilemma. The royal family must choose between adhering to tradition and evolving. This option comes at a time when the United Kingdom is struggling to come to terms with its identity in the wake of Brexit and the shifting cultural standards. Lord Hennessy delivers a cautionary statement stating that the survival of the monarchy is contingent on its willingness to adapt. Even while courtesy is a sign, the issue that truly counts is whether or not it can lead to anything or whether it is only a reflex. This is not just about Zara. It is about every royal under the age of 40. Dr. Littleton continued to argue over the course of the conversation. At this point, the question is whether or not the palace will pay attention. Because of her resistance, Zara Tindall has dragged the monarchy into the spotlight of modernity. This is true regardless of whether her defiance was intentional or spontaneous. Although the path that lies ahead is not totally clear, there is one thing that can be said with absolute certainty. The institution's ability to maintain a healthy balance between reverence for the past and respect for the future is important to the institution's continuing survival. One of the questions that remains unanswered is whether or not the monarchy of the United Kingdom is able to adapt to the changing conditions. Thank you for watching the video. Please let us know your thoughts and goodbye for now.